Right, so Steve, thanks for the role, mate. Much appreciated.
Yeah, good.
And so we're here at Training Gain in Coventry.
Yep.
New gym that's just set up, and we're in your new BJJ studio.
Yeah.
So can you tell us all about that?
So yeah, new start was at the toe-to-toe boxing.
Right, with Leighton.
With Leighton Brady, yeah.
Yep.
Great guy. But just needed a change of scenery. Trying to focus more on the BJJ.
What was the difference with that gym then?
Just the spacing, really. It was more of a boxing gym than
okay.
BJJ, right. So it was like better space here. You know, met this great guy, James Parker, who owns Training Gain. He's got this new place and he's offered me this space, so I couldn't really turn it down.
Fantastic. So the name of the BJJ club is?
Turbo MMA and BJJ Coventry.
Awesome. Can I ask what's your lineage? Which club are you,
So we're affiliated with Will Machado, John Will, who's from Australia.
Who's been over recently?
Yeah, he was over just 2 weeks ago. Yeah, great seminar.
How did the seminar go?
Yeah, really good. It was all about back takes. Yeah, it was good. Some secret stuff.
I just listened to him on the Raspberry Ape podcast.
Oh, okay.
And he was his concepts are enlightening, there, to say the least. They're very, very interesting.
Yeah,
and
he's a cool guy.
Just listening to him talk, I mean, the amount of time he spent in martial arts in general, especially BJJ, and he's, well, not apparently, he is one of the Dirty Dozen, isn't he? So the Dirty Dozen are the first 12 non-Brazilians to get their black belts from, but his root was the Machado family, wasn't it, rather than the Gracies?
Yeah, Jack Machado.
Yeah, awesome. So what's interesting and why I wanted to come and speak to you, Steve, is because, and what's fascinating for myself, the podcast is about speaking to, first of all, most of the people in Coventry, all right, getting some interesting stories out there, because we are blessed with some amazing talent and some fantastic characters. And what's interesting about your story is that you're, 98% blind?
Yeah, 98% blind.
Fantastic. Well,
medically registered blind, but you know, I do get around, so just about. Can't drive and stuff.
I was going to not in the car.
No, don't drive. Oh, no, that'd be dangerous.
So, how did this happen? Were you born with this?
I was born with it, yeah. So, it started deteriorating when I was about 5.
Right.
Yeah, started to notice difference. You know, not being able to see stuff at school. Yeah.
You only need 2% to choke the hell out of me. That's incredible. So you compete in both mainstream tournaments as well.
Yep.
As well as a BJJ, as well as para, and you've also competed in para tournaments for judo. Because what came first, judo or BJJ?
The BJJ.
So you were doing BJJ before judo.
Yeah.
Where?
With same place, Rich Green, Coventry, yeah. Fosel, yeah. But we were in Canley at that point. And it was I used to work for Action for Blind People, so I used to get young people, you know, doing different sports and.
Who were either blind or visually impaired.
Yeah.
Okay. What, as a kind of a mentor or?
Yeah, as a sports leader. And then my manager says, there's this, you know, weekend, give it a go day to try and get into the Paralympic team of the British judo squad. So I went along, only done probably a week of judo, a crash course in judo.
Was that, sorry to interrupt, was that with Rich or was that?
That was Coventry Judo.
Okay, so Coventry Judo Club who train at Hereward College, just around the corner from here.
That's right, yeah. Before that it was at Woodlands.
Right.
So that's where I went for a crash course. Before I went off to do this weekend.
Can I ask who was coaching at Coventry at that particular time?
It was Son Moss, Bruce.
Did you ever see Neil Adams?
Yeah, Neil Adams down there, as well.
Yeah.
Great guy. So powerful.
Yeah, he's on really as.
I remember he was doing a kind of a seminar in front of the Telegraph, and he was doing a Kauchi, and he was nailing this guy, and I was thinking, I want to feel what it's like, and I was like, I goes, Neil,
to be thrown by Neil.
Can I have a feel what you do? Yeah, I was like, can you do it to me? He's like, yeah. He was like, whack. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And flew halfway across the room. It was so good to feel it though. Because seeing it and you're like, oh, okay, and then feeling it is just totally different.
I've never met him. I'd love to meet him. He seems, when they throw the term master around in martial arts, he definitely, I know he's a coral belt now in judo, but he definitely does seem the wealth of experience when he talks. I've watched a lot of stuff on him on YouTube, and when he talks about the balance, because I think from his particular era of judo was very much stand-up and the waza, which was the ground game. And when you look at his old stuff, especially when he won his medals or in the World Championships and in the Olympics, you see him on the ground and you see how effective he is. And you could probably argue the case, God, I'm sure he'd do equally as well in both disciplines, BJJ or judo.
Definitely. I think that era around that era, the Mayweather guys for the Great Britain was really good. Simon Moss on the floor. Yeah. You had John Paul Bow, he was really good. You had Steve Gorthorpe, who was as well as really good on the floor. So yeah. Having done both sports, are you a black belt in judo?
And brown belt in judo. So you're brown belt in judo, brown belt in BJJ. Yeah. So you've leveled it out. So at your level, which is pretty much the top. Is it the same grading system in judo? Would it be black after brown?
Yeah.
Okay. So essentially you're at the top in both sports. What do you find are the most fundamental differences? I know a lot of people say judo for stand-up, BJJ for grappling on the groundwork. Where do you think if it was so good back then with the likes of Neil Adams and all of that group from that particular Team GB, how has it differed and what's happened? Well, I suppose what's essentially happened, whatever's lost in judo and BJJ has gained. How do you think that's happened?
There's a lot more rules set now in judo, so there's no leg grabbing and stuff like that.
Because that was allowed, wasn't it?
Yeah, it used to be. Yeah, and now they've put in some more rules, so you can't grab the leg. So
I suppose that changes the whole form of attack.
So going back to my weekend at the British Judo, is I'd done some wrestling before with the BJJ. So it was like no-gi, wrestling, takedowns and stuff like that. So I was double legging people. And that was before the rules come in.
Right.
And then, just before that it was like, okay, the rules are starting to change now and you can't leg grab, you can't. So yeah.
Right.
So I got away with it a little bit.
Okay. So how did that, were you spotted then and then who was it that spotted you? And
yes, so the British squad spotted me, Steve Gorthorpe. So I went to the weekend thing, did all this grappling takedowns, not really judo takedowns, and then my Mayweather was alright because the BJJ that I'd already done was at least a high level blue, and I was holding my own and tapping people out.
Brilliant.
So and they were like, we want you to come away with us in Germany. So within a month I was competing for Great Britain in Germany, and then German Open, got a bronze in that, and then they started saying, right, we think you've got something, we want you to come on full time, and then move to Dartford.
Okay, so because judo's now in Warsaw, isn't it?
Yeah.
The whole team's based up in Warsaw. So how did that work were you then funded or sponsored or?
Funded by the lottery, so it was lottery funded.
Oh, it was lottery funded back then, okay.
So I moved the family, my wife and 3 kids up to Dartford.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a mission, yeah.
I bet it was. What about training? What type of, so is this the national team or is it kind of like?
It was national team, but there was 2 sets. It was like visually impaired team, the Paralympic team, and then there was the full squad, so everyone would train.
You'd all train together?
Yeah, train sometimes different times.
Right.
Because of, different rules that we have with visually impaired and blind and fully sighted.
What's the daily training regime for somebody at that level then, the elite level?
Yeah, so my schedule would be 10 till 12, 3 till 5, and then 8 till 10 every day. 5 days a week, sometimes weekends competitions.
Wow.
So that was either technique for 2 hours, strength conditioning, and then randori at night.
Which
So
means?
Sparring.
Okay.
So yeah, that was mixing with other clubs as well. Other clubs would be allowed to come in and do the randori, the sparring stuff.
Oh, so if they had talent, they
Yeah.
would say, look, feed her into
Yeah.
the national squad.
Go to there on this night.
Wow, okay. And how do you find sparring or randori in terms of rolling in like BJJ?
Yeah, it's a lot harder from standing. It's just, you know, you got someone pulling you, pushing you. Yeah, go on the floor, you can have a little rest sometimes. But judo, you throw someone on their back with force, you win. So
Right.
BJJ, you can, you know, you go until someone quits or you tap them out.
Now, you also picked up an injury when you were down there.
Yeah.
How long were you with the team for?
2 years, about 2 years. Yeah.
So you were training full-time, 2 years as a full-time athlete, competing constantly out on the circuit.
Going away as well in different countries, France. Where else? Italy, I think it was. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah.
So
France
yeah,
was
so
the main thing.
the 2 years. What was this building up to? Was this London? Or?
That was 2012. Yeah.
Oh, so you were literally building up to the Paralympics in London.
Yeah.
Okay, and you picked up an injury
Yep. Picked up a lateral strain.
on the LCL, your lateral
yeah,
collateral
yeah,
ligament.
yeah.
Was that from a fall or a throw? Or?
That was from a poor throw from a guy from Kazakhstan, I think it was.
Okay.
Went for a Tai Toshi, just took my knee out.
And what was the rehabilitation services like with the team?
Really good, yeah. Got me a scan within the week that I got back from France.
Yeah.
And then it was just some rehab stuff.
How long did it take you to integrate back into full training? So they gave you the scan. It was an MRI scan, I take
MRI,
it. Yeah.
yeah.
So you got your diagnosis pretty quick. You began your physio. What was physio? Apart from the basic stuff, ice, managing the swelling.
Yeah.
What else were they doing?
Just a lot of stability stuff, a lot of physball stuff.
Oh, okay. Bosu ball.
Bosu ball, yeah.
So working on the balance some strengthening.
Yeah. Working in the glutes.
Yeah. So all the
Yeah,
surrounding
yeah.
muscles around that area. Okay. And how long was it from the onset of injury before you could integrate back into the team?
About 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks.
For a grade 2
yeah.
lateral, that LCL strain, that's pretty quick.
Yeah, it's good.
And you attribute that to the fact that they had a good service with...
I think so, yeah. And I was super fit anyway, so
Well,
my body
that
was just wanting to recover.
super healing power.
Yes. Training 3 times a day like that. Was just,
Yeah. So I suppose when you're at that level as well, if you've got to compete, dieting is very strict. What weight were you competing at back then?
73s.
So, right, okay.
So lightweights, yeah.
What are you walking around at now? No comment.
82.
All right, okay.
Yeah, about 80s.
All right, so it's constantly keeping maybe a couple of kilograms
Yeah.
above.
Yeah.
All right, so...
Go heavy to train with these big guys,
Yeah.
and then go light for competition.
Right, okay. Well, that's good. So what, after, eventually, I mean, you didn't go on to the Olympic team with the para squad,
No.
did you?
No.
What happened there? Do you want to talk about that, or was that a decision you had to make yourself, or?
Well, my family didn't like it in London, so they were having problems. Kids were having problems at school, so we had to move them back to Coventry.
So it was a tough balance, basically, a life
tough
balance.
Yeah, and you know the judo didn't like the fact that I would come back to Coventry and go back to London to train. So you know there was other people in my category that would take my place.
Right.
And it was just like, yeah.
So how old were you when?
35.
35. You know, I mean, so 35, family man. It's a tough commitment, isn't it? I mean, it is.
Yeah, it was really hard.
They've got you more or less for that particular time, but that is the commitment that's required when you're at the elite level, isn't it?
Yeah.
So do you think that was the biggest thing, was maintaining balance?
Yeah, that was the hardest thing because no one else was in that situation.
Right.
No kids.
Okay.
They're all, young guys, 18, 19.
That must have been a tough decision.
Yeah, it was hard. Yeah.
Once you made that decision
Yeah.
to kind of bin the judo, maybe that's a bit harsh expression, but walk away from it.
Yeah.
Was it straight back into BJJ then, or did you kind of turn your back on judo for that particular time, or had you kind of had enough of it? Getting very personal now, aren't I?
No, yeah. let me tell you the facts. Let me tell you the whole proper story.
People want to know.
Yeah.
You're a bit of an egg.
I'm going to tell you the truth, because like it needs to be out there, and it's been a few years now. So, I was in Turkey with the British squad. My roommate, Dan Powell, he was struggling to make weight, so he thought, let's go down to the bar and have some vodka to help him lose some weight, to dehydrate, maybe sweat a bit more, jump in the shower, sweat a bit more. And I was like, mate, that's the wrong thing to do. And he's like, I need to do it. And I was like, whatever, I'll come down with you, make sure you're all right. And then get down there, he's knocking the vodka back, manager walks in, what the hell are you doing? You going home tomorrow? I was like, look, I'm not drinking. He was like, no, you're going home tomorrow. I was like, I'm not even touching a drink. You know, I'm not going to say, it's Dan drinking.
Yeah.
Not me. I was like, look, smell my breath, do a test on me. No, you're going home. So I was like, okay. Just go back to the room, wake up in the morning, go back down to the lobby. The competition's just going to start for the lighter weight categories. And I said, right, you're going home, minibus is going to pick you up, take you to the airport, and you're suspended. And I'm like, okay, that's not very nice. But in this process, I was coming back to Coventry. So it was like, kids are moving back to Coventry, wife's in Dartford, and it just felt like the judo wanted to find a way out of getting me out of the squad. And this opportunity come up because of in Turkey, and they were like, "You're suspended, Dan suspended," sent us home. So
did Dan get sent home as well?
He got sent home as well, yeah.
Did he get suspended?
He got suspended. So we both got suspended for 6 weeks, and at that point I was moving back to Coventry. So Dan was still living in Dartford. So then suspension ended. I then approached the judo. I said, look, what's going on? I need to come back to training and stuff like that. And they said, okay, we want you to do some competitions to prove yourself worthy of getting back in the squad. And I said, okay, yeah, I'll do that. One in Germany, you got to fund it yourself. All in Britain, the competitions in Britain I want you to do. So
again, self-funded or?
Self-funded. So my funding stopped straight away after this suspension. So yeah. So I medalled in a couple of competitions.
So you went ahead with
yeah,
them?
Yeah, I thought, I need to get back in the squad.
Right.
I need to get to Paralympic, 2012. It's a, big thing. And, I didn't want to lose my place.
Yep.
So competed in England, medalled, got a gold, and I got a silver in just open competitions. Went to Germany, funded myself, and got a bronze there. Went to a meeting at Dartford with a squad. I get there and it's an international weekend. They didn't tell me that. They just said turn up, we'll have a chat, we'll do a bit of training. But they didn't tell me it was an international. Get there, I'm thinking, what are all these people? And then it was an international. So just okay, that's fair enough. Randora'd everyone as much as I could. Go into the changing room. I had a representative with me as well to make sure that what I was hearing and what they were telling me was right, was not going in my ear and going out the other side. And I warned this guy. I said, look, they're gonna just go, no, you're see you later, Steve. And so I get into the changing room, and without even saying, Steve, get changed and we're gonna have a meeting. I said to the manager, I goes so what's the crack? He's like, well, we're not going to take anyone to London who we don't think is going to medal. and I'm thinking, okay, I've just proved to myself, all for this last 6 months, that I'm willing to work and to do something, and I'm medaling. And I was like, okay, wow, you've already made this decision. So, but at this point, Dan was back in the squad. Dan had a brother called Mark, and he was my category. So, but Dan and Mark Powell had a dad. Their dad used to be in the Paralympic team.
Oh, okay.
So there's a bit more
favoured connection
to that name, and you know. So yeah, I was a bit pushed out. Yeah, so there's the truth.
Wow.
And I didn't drink. It was Dan necking the vodka. Dan's still in the squad now. Dan's doing really well. Well done, Dan. He did. I think he got silver at the weekend.
Are you still speaking to him? Or?
Yeah, just, I message him and stuff like that. Got nothing against Dan. He,
Sounds like that was the situation unfolded itself, and they'd already had an agenda. That's my opinion from what you're telling me. So
yeah. I kind of gave him an easy option to get rid of me. So then I went straight to BJJ, and I thought, let's
Judo's lost.
Judo,
It's BJJ's going.
That's it.
That must have stung a little bit.
I was gutted, because not good just for me, for my family, because they were, they wanted me to go on and make good things of myself. So.
Well, you are kind of all right at judo.
I'm okay, yeah. I'm better now than I was then. And I've even since the last 5 years tried to get back in the squad, and they've said I'm too old.
Even at Paralympic level,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they want young guys that are going to spend 10 years in there. So.
Masters.
Yeah, Paralympic Masters. No.
How long did that whole situation sounds horrendous? How long did it take to get over the kind of?
Still hurts.
The difficult, does it?
Yeah, still hurts, because my dad was going, get back in the squad, come on, phone them, see if they're all right, see if they want you back. I'm like, Dad, they're done,
Is your dad judo? Does he do judo?
He did karate.
Right.
Yeah, my dad died 5 years ago, but he was going, come on, get in the squad, and so yeah.
Wow. So was it from that, box that off, right, I've got to move on now.
Move on.
Straight back into BJJ.
Straight into BJJ, yeah.
Pick the phone up to Rich Green, can I come back?
Yeah, I was still kind of
still dipping your toe in the BJJ aspect of things.
Yeah, when I was coming back home from London, I'd go and see Rich and do some training. Yeah.
Wow.
I even went over to Coventry Judo and stayed there for, quite a bit as well, a couple of years.
Yeah.
Just keeping my judo up. Real good club, judo.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Amazing, yeah.
Yeah, it is amazing. I've been down a few times to the open mat on Friday, and whenever I go, it's only open mat, and I'm working with teenagers, but whenever I go back to BJJ, having done it just a few hours, the technical aspect, I know you give away a lot of positioning when you try and do a perfect throw in judo, in BJJ, but I don't know, I just feel a lot more confident with my feet having done it.
Yeah.
This is my opinion. I think I got that from my first competition when I entered the Hereford Open, and I went against this guy, and he just literally mauled me down to the floor, and I was like, I think I need to get stronger on my feet here.
Gives you that confidence.
It does, yeah, it does. Yeah,
balance, confidence.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Calmness, just.
Yeah. So you're straight back into the BJJ. How's that been going? Because you've been in a couple of competitions, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah, I think you didn't you win gold at the British a couple of years ago at Purple Belt?
Yeah. So I got gold at the British Open, and then British National got gold there as well in London.
Have you gone on for any further ones, IBJJF? Or?
That was an IBJJF one.
Oh, that was, okay, excellent. How did you find that your judo skills, and competing and the tournament element and exposure, how did you find that helped? These are mainstream tournaments as well.
Mainstream,
yeah. So you weren't going in against other kind of para-athletes or BJJ players or anything like that?
Really helped me, because my first ever BJJ comp just swept the guy, Ashiwaza straight to his back, and then side control, head and arm triangle.
So you beat with judo.
Yeah, I went straight with judo and then into some Neiwaza, but BJJ Neiwaza.
Right, okay.
Yeah, wasn't no Osakomi, wasn't no pin down. In for the kill.
Since you've been coaching here, you're building up quite a bit of a following as well. How's that going?
Yeah, getting some good guys. Yeah, very proud of them at the moment. They're all competing, doing the British Open this year.
How many medals did you get? Well, how many medals did the club bring? I know it should not be about the number, but I think if you started off with just you and a couple of guys at toe to toe, and then all of a sudden the team start bringing medals back, that must be quite a proud moment.
There were 7 guys competing.
Yeah.
6 guys got medal, but 2 of them were in the same category. So.
Right.
So yeah, everyone medalled really. Yeah, really proud. Very good. Small club.
Yeah.
Representing.
Yeah. So I mean, what spurred the move on to come back over here? And
I just love BJJ.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I love the camaraderie of it. It's such a good thing to do.
So if you've got 2% vision, can you describe to me what's your field of vision like? Your field of vision. What's 2% mean to you, or how do they get to that number 2%?
It's so whatever you see 60 meters away, I see 2 meters away.
Okay. And is that, when you say 2 meters, is that kind of clear, blurred?
Yeah,
I don't
probably blurred.
I did 2 weeks work experience at an optician when I was like 14. I've worn glasses my whole life, but I don't know much about it.
It's difficult. It's so difficult, isn't it? Explain.
I'm asking you to explain it to me.
I've got no central vision.
Okay, right.
Got no central vision. Peripheral's okay, but still, I still can't see as well as you.
But you've boxed as well, haven't you?
A little bit.
I've seen you do the pads.
Yeah, I think that's just a fluke. I just hold them, they hit them.
So, all right. Well, if we talk about your visual impairment, why are you so good at BJJ? Why do you think that helps you so much?
I just don't think you need to look to choke people.
Right. That's a good point. Yeah. No, I mean,
I think you need to know. I've had good coaches where they've said, right, put your hand here and put your hand there. Don't look for it. Just do, feel.
Yes. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's all about body awareness, feeling, movement, reacting to the other person's movement. And
I was speaking to another guy, Elliot Lewis, amazing guy.
So Elliot's the black belt.
He's just turned black belt. Last year black belt.
Okay.
Great guy.
So is Elliot affiliated to the club? Is he the black belt affiliated to the club?
He's another black belt alongside with Rich.
Okay.
Rich Green.
So in terms of lineage, because it's so important in BJJ, it would be, this is your club, you kind of, promotions and stuff like that, you run it through Elliot and Rich, and have them come down as well for the promotion? Or
Elliot's always around as well. So, and we were talking, and I was saying to him, it's like I've got that calmness of like a tornado, like everything on the outside spinning really fast when I roll with people, and in the middle I'm just like, okay,
nice and calm.
I'm calm now. I'm just chilled. I can take my time, and that's through, I think, just doing stuff lots and lots of times. It's like writing, isn't it? You could just get a pen and just write. You don't have to think about it. You don't even have to look, really. I think when you get to that point of BJJ, no one can tell you that it's going to happen. It just happens. You go, oh, that feels really good. I think that's massive.
It's very interesting to hear it from your perspective. It's very hard sometimes to describe what comes so naturally. You know, it's not. I'm sure it's not often people ask you to put it into words. How does it work with Elliot being the black belt then, and this being your gym? What's the kind of protocol that you're going to have? Does he come down a lot? Does he drop in for seminars or?
Yeah, he's here every week. Yeah, every Thursday he'll be down. You see all the guys, roll with them as well.
Okay, so he's very hands-on,
Yeah.
and he kind of like dips in.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing BJJ now?
I think 12, 13 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose that's why, you know, it's the hardest belt, isn't it? I would say out of most of the martial arts to get to a black belt in BJJ, because of the time that you're supposed to spend on the mat. It's not necessarily the time in the belts. It's more or less the times that you're putting into the mat. And
Yeah. Probably a big factor of me not being as high as I probably am is me moving away from the BJJ to go judo. So I've had a good couple of years out of the BJJ,
yeah.
and then going back into the BJJ. That's maybe a factor, but I'm in no rush to go any higher than a brown. It's just too heavy. The weight of the colour's too heavy.
What do you mean? What does that mean?
Just black belt. I think people expect you to know everything.
Right.
You're a professor. You should know the answer like that.
Where does that come from? Where does the term attributed to black belt professor come from?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, we'll have to look that one up. I'd heard that it was something to do back in Brazil, that it takes you so long, the same way like a PhD student. Right, it's probably an average 7 to 10 years, with the research module, that it takes you so long to achieve a black belt that the title professor is bestowed upon them. So I don't know.
Probably isn't, yeah.
Well, yeah.
It takes so long.
Yeah, we'll have to look it up, and it's supposed to be the knowledge, the depth of knowledge that you acquire, not just about BJJ in itself, but the aspect of the lifestyle. So
exactly, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, ask Elliot. Yeah. He's a professor. He should know. Well, ask him. Oh, that's good. So you've got a nice little core kind of regulars now. And I know Earl's training with you. I was chatting to Earl James on Saturday.
Yep.
We were talking about his, past in the Royal Marines, his injury, and how he finds doing BJJ helps him so much at the moment.
Yeah, inspirational.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's a great story. I think there are so many people, especially in the Coventry area. I was chatting to Melissa. She was the first. Melissa Mullins was the first podcast.
Yeah.
And if you want to get into martial arts, or if you want to do some form of competing, BJJ, judo, boxing, no-gi, grappling, wrestling, even taekwondo, karate, there's so many good schools in the Coventry area.
Oh, yeah.
And there just seems to be a really big wealth of knowledge, all spaced around, and I think everyone could talk to each other a little bit more and do a little bit more, into training and stuff. But I'm sure politics gets in the way, even at this level in sport. But yeah, there seems to be quite a good, foundation of people that have just got great stories like yourself. Where are you going from here? Competing soon, or?
Hopefully compete next year.
You're going to wait till next year?
Next year, yeah. I've had a shoulder injury as well, and so that's better now. But yeah, aim for next year.
Okay.
Get my weight down.
How is the shoulder? Because we were talking about that before, weren't we?
Yeah, it's getting a lot better. Every now and then I just twinge it, but that's good.
I mean, in terms of competing, because you've been competing at the top level, when have you ever been 100%? It's a good question, isn't it?
Yeah.
There are. If you think of the rigours, and the demands that training, because what was it, 6 hours a day?
Yeah.
Yeah. So 2-hour sessions with your breaks in between that, and you think you were doing that for 2 years in judo aspect, and the impact that, boom, constantly slamming on the mat.
Yeah.
Same with BJJ. You're getting your arms and lower limbs and neck cranked all the time, people grinding over your rib cage into your back. It's painful.
Yeah.
When have you ever been 100% really?
Some injuries where you just cannot compete when you've got it. Some you can get away with.
Yeah.
Broken finger.
Yeah. For those listening.
Yeah. You might get away with a little.
Steve's got a bit of tape around his 5th digit. I think it's more for show, isn't it? I'm joking.
That's how fat it is.
Yeah. It's keeping the swelling in. Yeah.
So I think it's just all depends on what injury you need. I think you need your shoulder and your knees are very important.
Yeah. But it's interesting how injuries can, when you're competing at that level, impact on your confidence. Like if I've had sore knees, if I go training, I'm not going to shoot any doubles that day. I'm just going to just pull guard. Yeah. Straight away, get my bum and then try and attack that way. Or especially shoulders as well. I feel you have to have like good strong shoulders, elbows. If there's any kind of like niggle, the second somebody starts pulling or tries to separate it, it feels like there's a chink in the armour, so to speak.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's frustrating as well, isn't it?
Well, I was chatting to a guy. I was training last night at Lions, and there's a lad, Amric, and he trains with us, and he also trains over at Victor Esteema's place in Nottingham. And shout out to Amric Basala. He is always on the competition scene. He's a blue belt, but he's always out competing, travelling, medaling, doing really, really well. And I think he's a full-time student as well, so he's studying, so he's great. He hasn't got that luxury. He's not married yet. He hasn't got any children. He's married to BJJ. And I said to him last night, how you getting on with your training? And he just said, yeah, it's good. And it's all about balance. And I thought that was quite a mature response, for somebody who competes so much, that, you should be balancing it out. There are times where you can train hard on the competition, and then there are times where you can do kind of maintenance and tick it over, and you should mix it up. You should, it shouldn't just all be about mat time as well. I'm looking around the place and I can see you've got bags, you've got ropes, you've got some TheraBand stuff. There's a squat rack. There's lots of pull-up bars. We've got the prowler over there. So the gym's equipped with some good functional exercise equipment that you can use as well.
Yep, definitely.
And it's a case of mixing that up, isn't it? Because the more time you spend on that, the more likely you're going to be, prone to some sort of injury. You can't roll.
No, you got to do some kind of conditioning. Yeah.
How old are you now, if you don't mind me asking? Well, you've got to tell me. So.
Nearly 45.
So 45.
Got to be clever.
Yeah, you've got to be a little bit. Yeah. Well, I'm 5 years behind you. I mean, I've felt quite a few injuries lately. They take a lot longer to heal.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think I've really felt 100%. Unless, if I go back to when I was about 20, 21, that's probably when I was about 100%.
Yeah. God, I was probably injured then as well.
Yeah. All right, Steve, well, listen, it's been great talking to you. Thanks for having me down at the gym. Thanks for the flow roll. I look forward to seeing you on the circuit. If there's anything you want to kind of, the last little bit of the podcast or the video is where you plug anything that you want to get out there.
So Monday, no gi, training gain. Tuesday gi, Wednesday kickbox.
What time?
6 o'clock.
Yeah.
6:30. 6 o'clock Monday, 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock, no gi, Monday.
Right.
6:30, BJJ, Tuesday. Wednesday, kickbox, 6 o'clock. Thursday, at the XL Centre, 7 o'clock.
So you're also using the XL as well, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you got a website up and running now?
No, not yet.
Okay, but you are on Instagram?
Yeah.
Turbo MMA or?
Yeah, Steve Tush.
Steve Tush, BJJ, is it?
Yeah.
So if they want to find you on Instagram and Facebook?
Yep, Steve Turbit.
Yeah, and then come down. If somebody wanted to start BJJ, they've never done it before, how does it work for them? Just get in touch with you?
Yeah, just get in touch, come down, have a look, come and join in.
Pre-trial for a week?
Pre-trial, yeah.
Then sign them up?
Yeah.
And then eventually at some point they'll need to buy a gi or get themselves a gi.
Yeah, you can borrow a gi, but I wouldn't Wouldn't recommend it.
Okay. Get yourself your own. Yeah. No, brilliant. Steve, thanks very much, mate. I really appreciate talking, and thanks for having me over in the past as well. I know I don't necessarily train at this club, but it's nice to dip in, and it's nice to have the experience of other people looking and thinking, who's that coming in here? I'm gonna get him.
Blue belt.
Yeah. Big target on your back.
Blue belt should be a purple.
No. We'll take my time. I'm enjoying it now. I'm basking in the sun. I'm enjoying it now, mate. No. Brilliant. Thanks, Steve. Cheers.
Thank you.